Thumbnail, what's going on everybody? Rob here, aka Trev2323. I'm trying to stay out the sun, but these are my solar panels right here. This is going to be a little instructional video. I've done them before on DIY solar. I'm not connected to the grid. This is supplemental electricity I'm bringing in for my house. This is not running my whole house. It can run my basement, but I'm only in it for about $2,000, $2,500. I've done videos on don't sign these 20 and 30-year contracts with the solar companies. Let me explain to you my DIY solar system. Okay, so these panels right here on the side are 100 watt panels. I have a 48 volt system, so it takes of electricity and then it turns it into 120 volts. The inverter does that. I don't do that. I don't know how. Okay, so there's 12, 24, 36, 48. There's 48 volts. There's 12 volts in series. Look that up. You got to research that. Okay, so that's 400 watts I'm bringing in right here. The ones on the top of the roof, those are used industrial. Yes, those are used panels right there. Used industrial solar panels. I prefer the used industrial solar panels instead of these. So those are 320, so that's 640 watts. Now on the other side of the garage are the exact same panels. Now people say, well, you gotta have them directly towards the sun, this, that, and the other. We're the Midwest. The sun is over here, and the sun has different angles. The sun has a different trajectory over my house. Side panels, they're in full sun. Those panels right there are in full sun. There's the other panels right there. They're not in full sun right now, but the trajectory of the sun comes over this way and goes in between those houses. So at the end of the day, these panels are receiving sun. Look how dirty they are. There's one thing about solar panels is we're in Chicago, we're in the Midwest, we're in a city limits, and they get dirty. They get super dirty, where my son gets his ladder and he goes up and we have to mop the solar panels on top. So those right there are filthy. I'm not gonna get the ladder out. Those are filthy. They got to be mopped. These, not so much. Now let's go from here. So everything comes out. There's separate strings, right? I have 1, 2, 3 strings and a fourth that I can put on. This is what's called a combiner box. This separates each string of 48 volts. There's 4 of them, 12, 24, 36, 48 right here. That's one string. 24 and 24, those are 24 volt panels. That's 48, so that's another string. The other 2 panels are another string, and they come into, each of them come into a breaker, and this is my main on and off switch to shut this box off. Okay, so these were 400 bucks. These are 400 bucks. I got those on a good deal. Paid 100 bucks for those, 100 bucks for the other one on the side. All right, this right here I paid 80 bucks for. It's a 4-string combiner box that takes it down into your house. This is where it goes into your house. Okay, now don't forget all your wiring that you're gonna have to bring in. This is solar wiring, and look at this is outdoor wiring, and it's already fading. Look at, it's already fading. That's outdoor wiring, but your wiring is going to be pretty expensive. That's copper wiring, thick copper wiring, so that's pretty expensive. I don't even know how much I paid for my wiring. You figure those 2 coming inside, those actually go through the roof, and they're on top of the roof on those sides. These right here come from the side of the panels and go in. Here's my piece de resistance that I'm pretty proud of. Everything is grounded into the ground, but my box goes right here from my combiner box, and everything is grounded here but goes underground to get into my house. So yes, I have ground poles in my ground. These ground wires are 8 feet deep, this side and that side. Okay, so that's the outside. So you figure $80 for a combiner box, $400 for these panels, $100 for the used panels on top on this side, $100 for the used panel on the other side. So that's not bad at all. Everything is ran underground. The underground wire is pretty expensive. This was the old dryer vent. Comes up from underground and goes into the house right here. This is my piece de resistance. This is a 3000 watt inverter, 48 volts. So it brings the 48 volt solar into it. 48 volt solar comes into it, and then it switches it to 120 volts. This battery right now I built myself. So this right here is running off the sun. I would have that tank, that light, that light, that light, that light, that tank, this tank, that freezer, that light, this tank, all off of the sun right now, okay? All off of the sun. All right, so this battery is a 48-volt battery I bought out of used solar cells. These are used cells, not solar, used car battery cells, I think they are. And then this is a BMS, a battery management system. It looks like spaghetti wires, but this is actually monitor each one of these batteries. Right? If you're building a lithium battery like this, you could buy them. There's big battery in California sells them, and you could get a 12 kilowatt hour battery that'll get you through the night, and it's going to be like 12 grand. So this battery cost me, it was 500 to build, now 600 because my other BMS went out, so I upgraded and got another BMS. This grow watt system, this was $850 for that right there, $850. And then that battery was 500, but the other BMS went out, so now I'm up to $600 for the battery. It's sitting on a cooler because if I travel anywhere, I put that battery in the cooler for protection. And this is on the dolly where I can roll it anywhere. This is a portable generator. It's a portable generator where I can put this in my van and take it with me. It's not plugged into the wall at all. This you can actually plug into the wall, plug into the grid. This is not plugged into the wall. I have everything else plugged in running out of this. Everything I'm powering is going off of the sun right now. Off of the sun right now. So I'm in this for about $2,000, for about $2,100 is what I'm in this for. Now I have the rest of my basement that I could hook up into this. I'm only bringing in about 2,000 watts. I say if even that, maybe 1,800 watts. So I could bring in more than that. This inverter right here will cover up to 3,000 watts of power. Okay, I'm not running my air conditioner. I'm not running my heater off of that right there. I'm running all the lights in the house. You could run all your lights in the house off of that. All the lights are LED now, right? So you could run all your lights off. The little pumps and filters for my fish tank, they don't use a lot of power. Although when I had 5 fish tanks, it was costing me $35 a month to run those 5 fish tanks. The sun could run it for me. Now how I use this right here, I actually shut this off at nighttime. I shut this off because it uses power to stay on. So my battery is about a 1 kilowatt hour battery. So this battery with all my fish tanks and my deep freezer will not get me through the night. So I have to maintain enough power in this battery so this will go on in the morning time. So me personally, I unplug my fish tanks and everything else from the solar charger and plug it into the wall in the morning time. And at nighttime I unplug it and plug it in because I'm such an energy so frugal with energy that I don't want to be using an extra 200 watts every now and then with this when I could just plug it directly into the wall myself, on and off, on and off. Now if you have your solar inverters, they put them on your roof and you're in the city, how are you going to clean them? You're not going to be able to get on your roof to clean them. On my garage, my son can go up there and mop them for me. We do about every other month. Now I have a carport that we want to build, a carport, and I think that'll be the best thing if you structurally make it sound to have all your solar panels on your carport. Once you start going on the roof of your house, they're going to be extremely hard to maintain, and if you got to change roof or anything, you're looking at big money to replace those. So I think solar is a way to go. Solar can definitely impact the cost of your expenses going out, but I don't think you can completely go off grid unless you have a huge battery. The best thing to do before you go solar is start monitoring your electric bill and finding out where you're wasting money on electricity and cut that down first. That's a way to start saving money, to save up money to start buying your other panels. This I bought brand new from Watts 24/7. Those batteries I bought from Battery Hookup, and the used panels I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. The 12-volt panels I bought from Renergy, and the combiner box I bought from Amazon. That's a starter list to DIY solar, off-grid DIY solar. But don't forget, you got to do all your clips and your wires on top of that. That's another expense. Talk to you later. Subscribe, like, and share.